It's Monday night, February 17th, 2020, and I am well off the beaten path tonight. I set up camp on BLM land in southeastern California, and I'm right off of a very, very lightly traveled track. I don't think I'm going to see anyone during my stay. In fact, I think I could stay for the remainder of the year and I still won't see anyone. I've got desert mountains to the east, and the highway is about 6 miles to the south as a crow flies. I can just see traffic glistening as it goes by in the distance, and it's very beautiful and secluded, so I'm enjoying this. I need to make something for dinner. Probably just make one of my lame sandwiches. Going for quick and easy tonight because I got here kind of late. I had a bit of a scare with the Jeep this morning. I was camped in the desert south of Quartzsite, Arizona all weekend. So this morning I broke camp and I was heading into Quartzsite to the laundromat to get some clothes cleaned. And I went to pass a slow-moving car that was in the road in front of me. So I stomped on the gas pedal. The Jeep slowly accelerated, and then when I was halfway past the other vehicle, it suddenly lurched, and the traction control light came on. The red lightning bolt started flashing on my dashboard. Check engine light came on, and it started idling really rough, and it felt like I was pretty much coasting to a stop. At this point, I didn't know what to do. So I called the guys at Summit to see if they had any suggestions since I was just there, and Jesse Clark, the superstar tech who always works on my Jeep when I'm there, told me to look under the hood and check underneath the throttle body. There was an electrical connector that he wanted me to unplug and inspect. And I did, and as it turned out, that electrical connector was loose. I plugged it back in, started the Jeep up, and we were back to normal. So I thanked the guys at Summit profusely again, and a little over an hour later, I was back on the road on my way to the laundromat. It's Tuesday around midday, and I'm out exploring around camp. There's some roads that go up into the mountains in the distance, and I want to check them out on foot. They're about a mile away according to Gaia GPS. But it's a beautiful day in the desert, a little bit overcast, and the temperature is just right. Get to enjoy this beautiful landscape. That's pretty random. Phillips McCoy 19. 2019? Seems unlikely. Yes! This is stunning up here. I don't know what this road was or those roads down there. Probably former mining roads. But this has been a good hike. It's a lot more barren than the Arizona desert, and don't let my pants fool you. It is shorts weather. I am way too hot in mid-February. All right, tonight, pizza on the grill. We have crusts, we have sauce, mozzarella, and pepperoni. Okay. Go. Bon appetit. The underside is nicely browned but not charred. Good. We're happy. This is very good. I was just outside taking pictures of space, which I don't do nearly often enough. And I got this shot that came out pretty well. I love space. It's 9 a.m. on Wednesday morning, and yesterday during my hike, I was on a phone call with Webasto to discuss my malfunctioning gasoline heater. After I described the issue to them, they said that the gasoline heater is very sensitive to fluctuations in altitude, much more than the diesel version of the heater. Without having looked at it yet, they believe that my air-fuel mixture is probably too rich, making it more prone to carbon buildup, especially at higher elevations. However, before we move forward with that theory, they want me to confirm fuel delivery. So they want me to disconnect the fuel line at the heater, turn it on, and see if the pump is working. If that's working correctly, I should see just a tiny droplet of fuel with every click of the pump. And I'm going to give that a try right now into an empty orange juice container. It's a bit of a pain to do out here in the desert because I need to get under there, cut some zip ties, move some heat shields around, and it's a little hard to reach. but it needs to be tested so we can get this resolved. All right, plastic fuel line. Okay. I learned two things. First, fuel delivery appears to be adequate. And second, this is not something that I can take on in the field. My tools are barely adequate. There's a lot of delicate connections, a lot of routing, and trying to do this on the desert floor, I just feel like I'm bound to make something worse. So we know the fuel pump is working. Now I'm just going to focus on getting it to a technician. Alright, it's almost midday. Let's head out of the desert, head back into town, resupply, and then go back to Quartzsite to the American Adventurist Desert Rendezvous 2020. Obviously, never ever go into mines that you find out in the wild, even when they're closed off like this one. But I do love finding these well-preserved glimpses into history. I can't help but wonder what they mined here and how busy this site was 100 years ago. I got me some Mylar. Alright, I just stocked up on groceries at Albertsons. I got some milk, eggs, stuff like that. And now before I go back into the desert, I'm gonna go to Taco Bell. It's Thursday morning at the 2020 American Adventurist Desert Rendezvous, and I'm here with Dave Bennett, the founder of American Adventurist. Can you tell us what your organization is all about? What's your mission?
Yeah, sure, Chris. So back in 2010, some friends and I sat around a campfire and thought about ways that we could get together more often and a vehicle to bring like-minded people together. And American Adventurist was born of that, really just to bring friends together and have an excuse to get out here and travel and explore and to live that life. You know, you sit in your cubicle, you're at work all the time, you're dreaming. You'd rather be out there on the road, out here in the desert like we are right now. We started working with the BLM many years ago, doing cleanups, trail cleanups. We've done that throughout Southern California. Now we're exploring and expanding over here into Arizona and seeing what public lands are like over here. We host 3 events a year. We have our Desert Rendezvous, which this is our 10th Desert Rendezvous here this year in 2020. We also host a Mountain Rendezvous in Southern California, and we have our Appalachian Rendezvous, which is hosted out in North Carolina in a little place that we love called Uwharrie.
Well, I'm expecting to have a good time this weekend, so thanks for putting this on and all the hard work you do. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming out and talking to us, Chris.
Thanks,
I hope
Dave.
you have a great weekend.
You too.
You just do like odds and ends and hang out. It's nice.
Okay.
Two bags of jackets. Is that everything you had wanted? You put bacon in it? Just egg.
Quickly put your tent up and be like,
Your best friend when you have food. Otherwise,
Yeah, I'll bet. I'll bet. That's some boring. Really
they were actually chased, but you don't want to be chased.
When you make a round thing, a little thinking goes into that. You gotta make the curve, everything fit. Like curve. They're just
They call them pointer strips?
Tim doesn't quite fit.
So does this your stove's always in there?
I mean, obviously it's not as, well, it's pretty quick to set up, but it's not as
As you can see at the Rendezvous events, there's a little bit of everything here. But I don't think it's so much about what you drive or what kind of vehicle you have. I think it's all about your spirit. And if you have an adventurous spirit, then you'll fit right in. Oh, thank you.
Grab it. I'm stealing it.
Hey, Bubba, what about the things?
I guess you can. I was gonna make you hold it.
Okay.
Let me see that one. The small one.
Yeah.
I am.
I'm sitting on the chair right here.
Did you get it out? That command.
Are you filming?
Yep.
Oh. Sorry.
No, it's all right.
Saturday morning at the Desert Rendezvous. It is 10:14 a.m. and it is proving to be a wet morning, but the weather forecast says that this is going to pass. It's making for a very interesting and unexpected desert environment, at least for me.
So this is the 2018 144 four-wheel drive V6 turbo diesel. Kalachi out of Henderson, Nevada did all the interior work, most of it. And then Agile did the rip kit, the hidden winch system, and I had my Jeep mechanic do the solar on the rack up there on top of the roof.
Cool. And this is a Dometic range and a basin. Oh, just a range, and then you have the basin over on the other side. This, oh Monty, I'm jealous. This is nice. I love the patches and the character you've added to it, the personal touches. You made it home.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it is home.
Cool. So you're full time.
Full time. Yep.
Oh, that is very, very cool.
Dually wheels, so that's why I'm able to 3,500. So
Okay.
I'm able to tow the Jeep with it with no issues at all.
Okay. Excellent.
Am I going to put this on the ball hitch? Why not? Because it's like baseball. You better duck, buddy. I've got a non-radius recovery point that's not made for this. It's made for a screw pin boat shackle. You should have at least 2 of those at all times. You want this to all be smooth. If I'm using this with synthetic line, if you've used it on metal line and it's got burrs and sharp edges on it, it's going to tear up your line. See, I start to winch faster because it's funny, all right? But now tighten it back the other way, please. Keep the line tight. Do not shock load your equipment. Chris, you're right here.
The trouble is, if you taste everything, you're full.
Oh, I should have gone on that side for the taco.
This one.
Apple cobbler come through. Apple cobbler come through. Oh my gosh, it smells.
I'm gonna go on a second trip.
Oh, there's shrimp over here, Jackson.
You want some, Barrett?
One dish is like
You're not allowed to. When do people arrive? So when you take your last bite and you choke to death, you got it on film.
Sunday morning, and I just woke up on the last day of the American Adventurist Desert Rendezvous.
10 years ago now, we decided to do this thing called Desert Rendezvous, which then spawned American Adventurist. I never foresaw that it would grow and become what it has become. Who enjoyed the chow last night?
Yeah!
00396. Woohoo! 396. 396. I want to point out, that's the second time he's won. Watch him.
How could that be, Dave?
You just pop that guy open and you hang it up. I've been using one of these for years. It's awesome. To the lucky holder of ticket 00342. It's got a backtrack.
Where's my ticket?
Alright, it's Sunday afternoon, and that concludes the 2020 American Adventurist Desert Rendezvous and this episode. Aside from hanging out with friends, old and new, and kindred spirits, one of the things that I appreciate most about this event and American Adventurists in general are their principles. They place emphasis on community, family, safe motorized adventure, and their respect for the land is absolute. So looking back at the now desolate event grounds, it looks great. There's no trash or debris, no invasive impact, and you can hardly tell that an event just happened here. So thank you all very much for watching, and I will catch up with you again this coming Friday, back on schedule somewhere here in the Southwest.